Sego zewa gwegu, Karonhianonhnha Kateri. This is the Karonhianonhnha Science Fair, where we do projects, and there's prizes for thirds, second, and first. And if you come in first place here, you get a trip to go somewhere to compete in the bigger science fair, where you have a chance to win a trophy.
I modified a toothbrush to encourage kids to brush their teeth with more equipment, like a mirror to see where the plaque is in your mouth, and you just have to squeeze the toothbrush to get the toothpaste out, so you don't have to take the other separate thing and put it on. It has floss on the back, and it was pretty easy to make because you just need tape, whatever you put in here, a mirror, duct tape, floss, and glue.
Okay, my project is called Segu, and it means we will still use that piece of wood. And I think it's going to be used for people who don't have a lot of money, because pallets, they're for free, they're anywhere, like Home Depot, the hardware in town, and you could build anything. A house, a rink, a fort, chairs, bench, like in my model. I had an interview with Chuck Barnett and Curtis Dybel. Well, I just asked them regular contractor questions, like can you build a house out of pallets? How many pallets would it take? And he showed me all this mathy stuff. It would take 393 pallets to make a house. Really? 20 by 40.
This is the Infinity Shovel. It's a shovel that has detachable heads so that you don't have to go out and buy a couple of shovels every couple of years, and you only need to buy the heads, which are around $25 cheaper. So it'll save you a lot of money.
My invention is that when it's a flotation device, so when you're swimming, you don't fall. It's like kind of like a life jacket, but it works way better. So when I was building it, how I got the idea was when I was little, like 1 to 4, I couldn't swim that good, so I tried floaties and it wasn't working that good. So I tried a life jacket, it kind of sunk. So I made this, and my little cousin, he's having the same problem with me, so that's why I made it. So I tested it in my bathtub. It works very fine. I don't fall at all, and yeah, it just floated. I tried to put the bottles in the front, so right here, I have the two 1.5 liters, so it will kind of float even better. So on the chest, and then in the back, I just put a lot on the back, and then a double right here. So yeah, that's all.
Well, my science project is on loopies, and they're these little things that hold up your belt when it falls and sags down, and you don't want to cut it because it'll make it look ugly. So you'll just you'll drop the loop in and just tighten it. So yeah. So you put the belt on, and so the part hangs off, and you'll just take a loopy and put it on, drop the loop in and tighten it, and you'll just, and it'll stay there. My mom came down the stairs one day and she's like, my belt is falling, I need something. So I just created these and to hold it up.
Right here I have a machine that helps you hunt called the Hunter's Helper. basically it's a trailer with a pulley at the end of it, so it helps you when you go hunting. There's this this right here. It's in you for a mini model. The rope goes out, ties whatever around whatever you have, bear, moose, deer. Then it pulls it. Then it pulls it into the trailer. It drags it. Then yeah. Then it goes in. You just hook it up to your truck, take it to the butcher or your home, wherever you can butcher it yourself. And it's especially hard if you're just one guy doing it.
I have potatoes that can power this LED light right here. And my science fair project proves that you don't need batteries to power everything. You can power different things like alarm clocks and calculators and stuff, but I'm just gonna show you this light. So I have the pennies and zinc plates that are in this potato, and it connects in an electric circuit, and it works because of the phosphoric acid in the potatoes. It reacts with the pennies and the zinc, and it makes it work. So you get this one, the negative, and you put it on the negative one, which is the black. And then you get the positive one, and you put it on the red one because it's the positive. And it makes the light up.
So this is prototype 4, the real Express. Now, it's really good. Like, here you have the strap to hold it. It's washable, reusable. It's easy for little kids to use. It keeps it safe from bumping into each other, and it looks pretty safe in case if no one is ever the eggs won't bump into each other, and it keeps the eggs safe. And you can hang it up with the strap if you're working or if you're giving the chickens water, that sort of things. You would use it at your home if you have chickens like mine. And if the store even lets you use this, if they let you, or maybe they might even put it in here, then that would be better. So you could use it in supermarkets or at your own home if you have chickens.
My project is about a hovercraft. I made a toy hovercraft for the kids so they can have fun with my product. I named it the Fire Robot Craft because when you put a lot of air into it, when you put it down, it goes up. But my first product was this thing. When I put the balloon on, I blow through this hole. Then when I let go, it started doing front flips. And the materials I used was 2 balloons, 1 dinky, 1 small water bottle, 1 large water bottle, glue stick, a pencil to poke a hole, and the problem was when my baby sister would always get mad. She always used to break my stuff, and because she wanted to play with it, and I didn't rather play with it, so I want to make kids this because my little sister likes it. When I tried it out, she liked it, so I want to make this for my science project.
My project is a skateboard with shoes attached. I made it because when I'm riding on the skateboard, like I fall off and like scrape my knee. So that's why this is why I glued a shoe onto it, and the shoe gives you a little more balance, and like at night when you're walking and it's dark out, you could turn the lights on. My project is called the camping school bag, and the reason I did it was when me and my dad were going hunting, like winter. We wanted to lay down because it was like really cold out, and we didn't have no blankets, so you like had to use like sticks and stuff. So that's why I came up with this. This with the sleeping bag at the bottom, but some of them they have it, but this one's different than the other ones. The materials are it's leather, Velcro, thread, camouflage cotton, and yeah. Okay, done.
Thank you for coming to the Karonhianonhnha 2014 Science Fair.
You're watching Mohawk TV on local Channel 4, Kahnawak's first community station.
Kanya ke haga tadiadaraste kayernga hiadu zewaderoru.
I was doing the dishes, so I thought to see which is better, Palmolive or Dawn. So I went into background research. I looked at the websites to see which is the best brand, but nothing really stood out. So I tried to do this theory to answer the question, which is better. So I looked into my material needed, Palmolive, Dawn, dishes, timer, pencil, paper, and water. So in my steps right here, first, get the materials needed to do the project. Second, get the dirty dishes for the soap. Third, set the timer, then wash the dishes at a different time because you can't do it at the same time. So 4, after experiment is done, write down the analysis. Right here is the analysis, soap, Dawn, and Palmolive. Time is Dawn for 3 minutes and 12 seconds, Palmolive 3 minutes and 57 seconds. The rank was Dawn got first and Palmolive was second. In my conclusion, Dawn is better brand than Palmolive. It was faster and killed 97% of the germs.
Well, the world has been obsessed with eliminating bacteria using wipes and gels. Some bacteria we associate with, which can cause illness, infection, or death. We're trying to prove that microscopic bugs can help the environment because they have like this stomach that digests oil, and it could help it a lot because humans are having a hard time going down into the water. Yeah, and over here we built a 3D model of the oil spill.
This is a model of an oil spill and what would happen, and the fish would all die, and that's all.
My project's about which dish soap will turn into a bubble, like which will last longer, which bubble will last longer in the air. I have Sunlight and Palmolive, and that's my soaps. So I tried it, and Sunlight came in second and Palmolive came in third. So, and I used the Palmolive, Sunlight, pipe cleaners right there. I used water and a spoon. So yeah. For this, I'm testing the voltage of various fruits and vegetables. You're gonna need a digital multimeter like this. You have to put the clip. Well, you don't have to put the clips on the edges, but it works better if you do. So you have to put it onto 20V.
So for this, the nail is negative and the penny's positive. The red goes on the penny, and the black goes on the nail. And it should get a reading. This happens because the inside of the food it's called the electrolyte. So the nail has zinc on it, and the ions from the zinc flow through the food until it reaches the copper and keeps on going around until it creates a current and creates voltage.
Explain it is if egg could bounce in vinegar. If you keep it in vinegar, which one could bounce? If the one in water or the one in vinegar? And and the vinegar one bounced after. You have to wait 7 days for it to start bouncing. Then if you put a flashlight in it, the color would come out like that right there. The reason why the egg bounces in the vinegar is because it's like the acid or something like that, and the vinegar in it disintegrates it, so it starts like bounce.
This is a zoetrope animation. It's a type of animation, and its purpose is to experiment how to investigate two-dimensional drawing, or a figure can be animated without a camera or a film. I was watching a video on YouTube of claymation and I want to know how it worked, so I typed up on the internet of how to do animation, and a zoetrope popped up. So I decided to do my project on a zoetrope.
We use these cups here. This one has BBs in it.
My chair, get out. Go with that.
And if this didn't have a BB in it, it would just be, it wouldn't work. So then if I put another BB in there, it floats. This one has salt in it, but one teaspoon of salt, but it didn't really work, this one. The second one, we put 2 teaspoons of salt, and it stayed the same at 1.0. We put 3 teaspoons of salt in there, and it still stayed at 1.0. Then we put 4 teaspoons of salt in there, and it still did not, it still...
It went a tiny little bit above 1.0. It just went a tiny little bit. Then we put 8 scoops of salt, and it went above the baseline 1.0. So, and it went above 1.1. So that was the best that we had for the 8 scoops of 8 teaspoons of salt. That was the best that we had. Yeah. It could be used for and many stuff that like has liquid, like an example, maple syrup. It can be used, the sugar could take up space and push up the hydrometer, just like the salt's pushing up the hydrometer because it's taking up space. It can be used to wrap too. Alcohol also, the alcohol takes up space and pushes the hydrometer up. So, yeah, that's what it can be used for also.
So this is my project, which salt melts the ice the quickest. This is where I try to discover which one melted the quickest. So I got my ice melter, but I just have a shorter name for it. My rock salt, my Epsom salt, my table salt, and my sea salt. This one is for, I thought this one would actually win because it's for outside and it's made to melt ice, but actually the rock salt one, I would think because it has bigger chunks of it, of the rock salt, and this one has little different pieces of the salt, like different pieces. This is the Epsom salt. This didn't work because it's made for baths. This is the table salt and sea salt, but when I put it on the ice, it actually froze to it. So what we did, we weighed it by grams. So this one, the Epsom salt, didn't win because it's 120 grams, and a full block of ice weighs 162 grams. So the rock salt was the winner because it was 74 grams and it melted the quickest, and we weighed it by like the least of it. So these two pictures are salt mines where it comes from underneath ground. Because that's where they find the salt from. This is all salt right here. And then they have the salt all right here in big piles, and that's where the salts came from. And that's it for my project.
It's called Chromatography. We use how do the pigments in different brands of water soluble black ink compares. Noel thinks the pigments will be gray, and I think the pigments will be rainbow colors. Really? Yes, we use a paper, a plastic cup. We use a coffee filter, a quarter. We use a paper cup, and we use 3 different brands of black crayons and markers, and we tap water. The results is pictures of brand A is like dark blue, blue, green. Brand B is purple, aqua, blue, gray, and brand C had pink, brown, blue.
First we used school glue, and then we used borax, and then we used some water, and we put it into a measuring cup, and then we left it out and it turned into this. And then we did it with Elmer's glue, and we did borax, and we did water, and then we added food coloring, and it made all these.
Can I see?
Made this one.
How did you come about learning about this experiment?
Well, our teacher picked it up for us, and we just we went to computer, and then we looked at pictures, and then we started making the globs, and yeah.
Thank you for coming to the 2014 Kateri School Science Fair.
You're watching Mohawk TV on local Channel 4, Kahnawake's first community station.
GMAA Kateri Karonhianonhnha Kateri